Hey, bio fans! Anya here from the Biography Wrap, and today, we are going to explore the life of Mickey Ward through the movie The Fighter, directed by David O. Russell. So, grab your seats and do watch out for spoilers. The story begins in Massachusetts in 1993. Mickey Ward is the brother of Dickie Ward, a famous boxer of Lowell in the previous years who gained quite a fame for his fight with Sugar Ray Leonard and his knockout. In recent years, Dickie has become addicted to cocaine very seriously, while his brother Mickey is still struggling to make significant progress in his boxing career and shadow him. Mickey has lost his last 3 fights in a row, and due to this, a majority of the boxing industry is doubting his skills as a fighter. Dickie usually trains Mickey to fight, and their mother Alice manages their fights. In recent years, Dickie has been behaving quite irresponsibly towards Mickey's training matches. He spends most of his time smoking cocaine and getting high at his usual place. On a similar day, Mickey is waiting to train for his next most important fight with Sol Mamby, former world champion in boxing, but Dickie is getting high at his place. Mickey has been advised by many people, including Mickey O'Keefe, to hire a different trainer as his brother has proven nothing but trouble for him. But he fears that he can never do it without his brother in his corner. He really adores him and considers him a hero. Despite all these feelings for his brother, he is aware of his irresponsible behavior and that it may affect his career. But his feelings continue to overpower his thoughts. The night before his fight with Sol Mamby, he goes to a bar with his family celebrating family night. Charlene is a bartender who works there. As soon as he sees her, he cannot stop staring. He feels as if he is being attracted to her. After small silence of awkwardness, he decides to ask her out. To his surprise, she already knows him except for his bad reputation in boxing. After a little bit of talking, she realizes that he is a really nice guy, and they decide to go on a date after his fight on the weekend. Mickey's personal is also kind of a mess right now. He is divorced from his ex-wife and has a daughter Casey whom he loves so much. He goes to meet his daughter every weekend. This time, he meets her and promises that after winning this next match, he will rent a bigger apartment so that she could spend more time with him. They have to leave for the airport the following day to reach the fight venue. Everyone is waiting for Dickie, but he is nowhere to be seen. Frustrated by his irresponsible behavior, Mickey, along with Alice and his dad, George, reach his usual place and find him high on cocaine jumping from the window. Anyhow, they all reach the fight venue only to find out that Sol Mamby has got the flu and won't be able to fight tonight. In desperation for getting paid, Mickey asks his brother to arrange for another fighter. He arranges a fight with Mike Mungan, who is 20 pounds heavier than Mickey. Everyone, including Mickey, knows that this will not be a fair fight and will negatively affect his record even more. But Dickie somehow convinces him to fight. The minute fight starts, he realizes what serious trouble he has gotten into agreeing to Dickie. Mike brutally beats Mickey and his self-confidence along with it. He is injured very badly, but more importantly, his feelings are hurt. He feels embarrassed after the match. Mike Toma approaches Mickey at the post-fight party and tells him that he feels the last few fights have been unfair to him, including today's match, which he could have easily won if the competitor would be of his weight category. He even offers to pay and train him with his guys in Las Vegas, but it will have to be without his brother because he is too much of a trouble. After knowing of this conversation, his mother and brother strictly forbid him from working with anyone other than his family. Reaching back to town, Mickey feels too embarrassed to call Charlene to continue their date plan, so he decides not to call her. The next morning, Charlene is standing on his apartment door, banging it. She wants to know why he stood her up last night. After listening to him and seeing how much this fight has affected him, she says that these things do not prove anything about his personality. It is unfair to miss the opportunity to be together for such reasons. So, they decide to go on a date, but even then, Mickey stays out of town and out of sight of everybody he knows due to embarrassment. After spending some time with each other, Charlene and Mickey instantly realize how strongly they feel for each other and decide to be in a relationship. After a precise thought analysis and a long talk with Charlene, he chooses to approach Mike Toma regarding his offer. Mickey and Charlene meet the whole family and tell them about this decision that he has taken for himself. His mother thinks he is saying things like this because of Charlene's influence and starts criticizing her. In between all this, Dickie enters the house, and listening to all this, he asks for a valid reason from his brother. Mickey tells how negatively Dickie's behavior is affecting his career, and along with the benefit of getting proper training in Vegas, he will also get paid. Assuring Mickey that he will also pay him, Dickie manages to turn his mind around once again. Being an addict, Dickie has a habit of spending all his money on drugs and other unnecessary expenses. Amidst all this, the arrangement of funds to his brother becomes something of great worry for him. He usually comes up with illegal ways to collect money and pay his brother. But a few times after he robs a handful of people, police catch him red-handed. He runs for his escape, but instead ends up getting himself in serious trouble with the police. As a result of his violence towards police officers, they start beating him seriously. Mickey is with his family in a nearby restaurant while all this happens. Listening to such a tragic incident about his brother, he couldn't resist the feeling to help his brother, despite Charlene and George denying him to go there for his benefit. He reaches on site to help his brother, but ends up getting himself in trouble too. During the violence with the police, they beat him up seriously and break his hands. Both the brothers are arrested, but Mickey is released in a few days as he did nothing wrong other than helping his brother, while Dickie is sentenced to a long time in prison. Charlene is pissed at him for knowingly getting himself into this trouble that could even potentially lead to the downfall of his career. On the other hand, HBO releases a movie about Dickie and his drug addiction, totally defaming the whole family's name around town and everywhere else. With this, his reputation goes further down in society. Other than being a loser, people now see him as an addict too. He feels utterly ashamed of his brother and realizes how badly he has messed up his career. He returns to Charlene and promises her to move forward in every situation. George takes matters into his own hands, and he gets Sal Lonano to manage his fights and Mickey O'Keefe to train him. But they all agree to work with him on only one condition: Alice and Dickie will not be involved with them anymore. He agrees to the deal instantly as he himself is fed up with both of them. When Alice gets this news, she convinces herself and the daughters that all of this is Charlene's fault. Furious with anger, they reach Charlene's place, where all of them get into a heated argument with Mickey and Charlene. He tells them what he wants now, and they can no longer be a part of it. Training with tremendous and utter dedication, Mickey is able to get his confidence back. He is making significant progress in his career and has won 3 fights continuously. He meets with Dickie and tells him to his face about the changed management of his crew. Despite all this, Dickie keeps asking him about his next fight plan, which is a significant one for him. He tells him that the strategy to fight his next opponent, Sanchez, is a complete disaster, and he should execute what they have always prepared for, the head-body combination. On the fight day, Mickey is inside the ring with Sanchez. He is trying to execute the strategy that he decided with O'Keefe, but it isn't working for him. It keeps hitting his mind what his brother told him during their meeting to execute the strategy he has always been preparing for. So, he decides to give it a try with his heart. He waits till the last round of the fight and exhausts Sanchez by running around. He executes his strategy and knocks out Sanchez with a kidney punch at the last moment. This last-minute surprise from Mickey amuses the audience and commentators. They are just delighted with his choice of strategy, and he becomes the center of attraction for the first time in his life. By winning this match, he has also won a chance to become the world welterweight champion, which is a big opportunity for every fighter. Dickie finally gets out of prison, and this imprisonment has made him clean of any addiction. He comes straight to the gym in the hope to train his brother. Mickey tells him about his deal with Charlene and George and denies him being involved anymore. But just minutes later, he wears down emotionally and accepts that he still wants Dickie to train him, as he had not won if it wasn't for his suggestion. Charlene and O'Keefe instantly leave the place, listening to his decision. Dickie goes to Charlene's house and convinces her that he wants only what is good for his brother, and asks for just one last chance. If she feels at any time that he is trouble for Mickey, he will back off. Eventually, everyone gets convinced to give Dickie the last chance. They train with utmost dedication and enormous efforts for the final fight. The next fight for the welterweight world champion title is with Shea Neary, the current world champion of the title. Everyone is optimistic about the match's outcome beforehand, because Neary seems to be a lot more powerful than Mickey. On the day of the fight goes on as everyone has expected it to go. Mickey struggles to keep himself in the fight, while Neary consistently dominates him with continuous punches. Before the second last round, Dickie motivates him, and again suggests the strategy he has been preparing all his life. Suddenly Mickey amuses everyone by gaining complete dominance over the fight. He throws punches as if he already knows where Neary is going to target. In the last round, he knocks out Neary like a child. The audience and the commentators are just delighted by Mickey's strategy and his deserving win. After winning this title, his career graph grows exponentially, and he wins a few amazing fights after it. He marries Charlene and lives happily with his daughter Casey at his place. Dickie continues to maintain his reputation in the neighborhood and trains the boxer in his brother's gym. That's it from the movie, The Fighter. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. Let me know what you thought of this inspirational story, and make sure to check out this next one.